I was left alone on that snowbound train, my daughter's tears freezing against my cheek while his shadow disappeared into the blizzard. I remember the brittle whistle of the locomotive, the sterile overhead lights flickering as I clutched her small hand. How could he vanish miles from the station, leaving us in sub-zero darkness? My coat was too thin. Her wool hat was damp from tears. The other passengers stared but said nothing. I tasted panic like metal on my tongue. Then I felt warmth, not from the train's feeble heater, but from a stranger's gloved hand passing me a steaming mug of cocoa and a thick blanket. Who is this secret investment partner who kept us from freezing to death? The question that should have lifted me, instead, lodged in my chest like an icicle. And then, just as the guard's whistle split the night, I saw the telltale slip of his business card pinned inside the blanket. My ex's partner, the one I never met, had plotted this rescue long before he abandoned us. What am I about to uncover behind this orchestrated kindness? I was born on a rainy Tuesday morning, October 12th, under the neon glow of the city. Hospital. I am Marisol Vega. I work as a forensic accountant for a boutique firm downtown. I am also a single mother to my brilliant 6-year-old Clara. I carry my life on 3 things: my laptop bag, Clara's faded backpack, and the silver locket her father gave me on our first anniversary. I wake before dawn. I hear the hiss of the shower tap and the scrape of my feet against the tiled floor. I need coffee, I think, but my first cup is always for Clara. I tiptoe into her room, where her chest rises and falls in soft rhythm. I cherish these seconds of peace before the world demands my attention. I brush aside a curl from her forehead and whisper, "Morning, my star." I pack her lunch: turkey and cheese roll-ups, carrot sticks, a note that says, "I love you past the moon." Then I lace up my boots, zip my trench coat tight against the autumn chill, and sling her backpack over her shoulder. Clara's bright eyes find mine in the hallway mirror. "Mom, do you think today will be warm enough for recess?" she asks, her breath a plume in the cold air. I kneel and pull her coat collar up. "It'll be crisp, darling, but I packed your scarf and gloves." I slip my hand into hers, and we step outside together. The city is waking. Bus brakes hiss, garbage trucks rumble, coffee carts steam on the sidewalks. I lead Clara across wet pavement toward St. Mary's Elementary. The bell rings just as her teacher greets her at the gate. I bend to kiss her cheek. "Have a great day," I say, forcing a smile that hides the weight in my gut. I wish I knew if I'd see him again, I think. But I swallow the question. Commute is routine. A 15-minute walk, 2 stops on the subway, then 3 blocks uphill. My heels click against stained concrete, and I imagine them like metronome ticks marking off moments of my life. At the firm, I sit in the archive stack, room, surrounded by boxes of audits and balance sheets. The overhead fluorescents hum like distant thunder. My colleague, Tony, slides in beside me. "Marisol, you ready for the Marsden files?" he asks, his voice low. I nod and adjust my glasses. Let's see if their books add up. Numbers blur. I cross-reference wire transfers, trace shell companies, chase ghost accounts. The lifeblood of every corporation. Money. Leaks through human error. Fraud. Greed. I lean back, rubbing my temples. I'm good at this, I remind myself. Maybe too good. Lunch is a half-eaten salad at my desk, punctuated by Clara's midday. Pictures of rainbows and unicorns. I curl them around a pen. Her art reminds me why I work these hours. After work, I collect Clara, and we head home through a park alley where maples drop red and gold confetti. She chatters about spelling tests. I listen, smiling. I fix her dinner, grilled cheese and tomato soup, and we dine by the table lamp's warm glow. "Tell me about your day," I say. Her tiny fork stirs the soup in circles. Moments pass. The microwave's beep is my cue to pack Clara's things for bedtime. I read her The Little Prince in an English whisper, pausing so she can ask questions about stars and foxes. Then I brush her hair into a loose braid and tuck her beneath soft blankets. Her forehead feels cool against my palm. "I love you, Mama," she murmurs, eyes heavy. "I love you more than all the galaxies," I reply, pressing the locket to my lips. I close her door and flick the hall light off. My apartment is silent, except for the faint drone of traffic and the ticking clock over the mantel. I sit at the kitchen table with bills spread out like a battlefield. Mortgage, utilities, Clara's tuition. That triangle of figures keeps growing. I click open my laptop. The email subject line stabs me. Final investment update. I hesitate, breath caught. Is it from him? My ex, Daniel. Once my partner in every sense, romantic, financial, emotional. We met at a seminar on sustainable investing. We built a life, piece by piece, until the numbers shifted and his workload tripled, and I began to feel invisible. I delete the email. I close my laptop. I have to be strong for Clara. And then Clara's small voice drifts from the bedroom, soft and curious. "Mom, why doesn't Daddy ever come home anymore?" I slide the key into the lock and step into an apartment dimly lit by a single amber lamp. I shouldn't dread coming home, I tell myself, but my chest tightens. The faint hum of the fridge greets me like a warning. I drop my coat on the rack, its sleeve still bearing the chill of the evening air. I wander into the kitchen. My cooking used to be the treasure of our evenings, spicy gumbo, lemon-roasted salmon. Now, I hear his voice in my head. "Your food's too bland. Can't you spice up your life? And your cooking?" The words curl around my ribs like icy tendrils. I add cayenne next time, I think. But the thought tastes sour. Then I see it. A post-it note slapped onto the refrigerator, his handwriting exact and looping. "You left the chicken out too long again. You're careless." My fingers tremble as I peel it away. Irene's note was kind last week, I remember. Why can't he just say thanks? The hallway light flickers. I step into the living room. Clara's drawings are pinned to the corkboard. A sun-bright home, a stick figure family of 3. But one figure is shaded in gray, the figure I know by heart. He's gone. My throat tightens. I close my eyes and breathe. I pour myself a glass of water. The ice clinks like distant church bells. I bring it to my lips and gag. Why can't I even swallow tonight? I set the glass down, my hand leaving a ring of condensation on the coffee table. Shadows pool beneath the couch. I'm alone. Then my phone buzzes. I start. The screen lights up with his name, Daniel Vega. My heart pounds like a jackhammer. "Daniel, we need to talk. You're overreacting." I stare at the words. Overreacting. The gaslight flickers in my chest. I type back. "Me, what are you talking about?" No reply. The silence roars louder than any argument. I move to the dining table and sort through unopened mail. Bills, Clara's school newsletter, a coupon for dry cleaning. Each paper feels like another accusation, another tiny cut. I lift a stack of invoices and freeze. A crisp envelope with no return address, no name. My pulse hammers. It could be Tony's audit summary. It could be a donation letter for Clara's school. I bite my lip and slit it open. Inside is a letter in elegant script. "You missed the transfer. Do better next time." As I drop the envelope, the floor tilts. My vision swims. S. Who uses a single initial? I slump into the chair, the oak grain pressing into my palms. My breath catches. I've missed transfers before. I've forgiven late fees, forgiven him. But this anonymous scrawl feels like a gauntlet thrown at my feet. And then, abrupt as a gavel strike, I hear a soft knock at the door. My heart seizes. "Just a moment," I call, voice brittle. I wipe my fingers on my jeans and cross the room. The peephole shows a delivery worker standing in the corridor, hands full of a thick plain envelope. I open. The envelope is heavy. No markings. No sender. I stare at it, every instinct screaming to slam the door shut. But I can't pull away. My pulse ricochets in my ears. I let it slip through the crack. Inside, I find a series of photographs, grainy, taken from afar. Clara bundled in layers of hand-me-downs, shivering at the train station. A stranger's gloved profile passing her a blanket. The next page, a wire transfer confirmation. Thousands of dollars moved from an offshore account to my daughter's school fund. The reference line reads simply, Winter Aid, CV. I drop to my knees. My vision blurs. CV. Those initials match his. Clara's father. But I never saw him send that money. I never asked. I never thanked. I never even knew he cared enough to hide behind shadows. Then a whisper of movement behind me. Clara, still up. She stands in the doorway, eyes wide. Her quilted nightgown glows ghost white in the hallway light. "Mom?" she breathes. I clutch the photographs to my chest. My voice cracks. "Sweetheart, She steps forward. "Did Daddy send that?" "For me?" I swallow. The papers slip from my fingers and scatter on the hardwood, fluttering like dead leaves. I don't know how to answer, and then I found the unmarked envelope on our doorstep. I wake before dawn, sleep shattered by Clara's breathless whisper. "Mom, I'm cold." I taste panic again, sharp, metallic, and unforgiving. I throw back the covers and find her curled at the foot of my bed, shivering in last night's pajamas. My heart thuds. I scoop her into my arms and feel her teeth chatter against my chest. I grab the only coat left in our hall closet. Threadbare, too big, stained at the elbows. I wrap it around her shoulders and hold her close. How could I have let this happen? My throat tightens. I rub her back in slow, comforting circles as she buries her face in my neck. We stumble downstairs, the early light like gray ash through the windows. I rummage for blankets, scarves, anything to warm her. My gaze falls on the unmarked envelope from last night, now torn open on the entry table. Photographs flutter like wounded birds alongside the wire transfer slip. His covert generosity, the same hands that left us alone. I scoop Clara onto my hip and march out into the frigid morning. Each breath is a plume of regret. We shelter at the bus stop beneath a neon sign buzzing faintly. Clara hugs herself. "Mom, I'm still cold." I press the blanket tighter. She trusted me to keep her safe. The bus arrives with a hiss of hydraulics. I lower her gently onto the seat, wrapping her again in that ill-gotten warmth. I settle beside her, mind racing. Should I pick up the phone? Demand answers? Confront him? But the only number I have is the one he uses to ghost me. My fingers hover over the dial. He abandoned us. Why should I beg? At the office, I can't focus. The hum of printers and whispers of colleagues grind against my panic. I hide in the copy room, pressing the photographs against my chest. Clara's small face, red-cheeked and frightened, stares back at me. This isn't protection. It's control. I slam the copier door and push the unmarked photos across the table. My vision narrows. It's manipulation. I shove them inside my bag. Every beat of my heart echoes the same question. Why would he save us only to leave us at her mercy? The day drags. I replay every memory. His gentle laugh in our first apartment, the promise he whispered under soft lamplight. I'll always take care of you. I taste betrayal on my tongue. My temples throb. When the phone buzzes, I nearly drop it. The screen shows unknown caller. I let it go to voicemail. I can't handle more riddles. At dusk, I collect Clara from her after-school program. Her teacher greets us with a tentative smile. Clara's gloves are soaked, her scarf missing. The other kids' parents wait with cozy coats and warm apples. I swallow shame when I hand over the envelope with my signature. I'm the mother who can't protect her child. That night after Clara's bath, I tuck her beneath layers of sheets. She looks at me, eyes wide. Mom, why didn't he just stay and help us? Her voice trembles. My throat seizes. Because he never loved you, sweetheart. But I murmur. Sometimes people care in twisted ways. I hate the lie. I slip out of her room and pace the living room. The lamp casts a single pool of light on the hardwood. I close my eyes. I can't break. I twist the photographs between trembling fingers. I won't break. Then the summons arrived on my kitchen table. I freeze. The court seal glares back at me like a judge's accusing stare. He's suing for custody visitation. My breath hitches. He wants access, now, with documented proof he's providing for her welfare. The irony scorches me. I cradle the papers like a burning brand. I sink to the floor, legs trembling, and read the fine print. He'll argue that his secret funding demonstrates his dedication. The judge must consider the best interests of the child. I imagine Clara in a courtroom, asked to choose between the phantom warmth he orchestrated and the mother who stood by her in shivers. Tears sting my eyes. My fingers smear ink on the affidavit. Why am I fighting for my own child? The walls close in. I clutch the last photograph, the one of Clara smiling at the stranger's hand offering the blanket. He manipulated her love for him. I fling myself onto the couch, wild sobs shaking my body. I taste salt and desperation. I can't lose her, not to a sleight of hands. My mind races. Lawyers, evidence, witnesses. I need a plan. I need truth. My phone buzzes again. A text from Tony. Let's grab coffee? I type back, urgent, come over. I need an ally. I stand, resolve hardening in my bones. I gather the photographs, the wire transfer slip, every scrap of proof that his concern was a facade. I'll fight. I'll expose him. And then I see Clara's drawing pinned to the fridge, a home with 2 stick figures, one small, one tall, both smiling, surrounded by hearts. I press my palm to the glass, feeling its cool surface. She believes in us. I close my eyes and whisper, I won't let him take you from me. What will happen when the gavel falls? I sit rigid as the courtroom lights dim and the door at the back creaks open. Then my sister, Isabel, strides in with Marcus, her investigator friend, clutching a tablet. My heart pounds against the oak pew like a war drum. I watch from the corner of my eye as she taps the screen. Then the hush is shattered by the glow of video rolling across the judge's monitor. Grainy footage of Daniel's offshore account statement, time-stamped transfers to Clara's school fund, and a hidden camera clip of him briefing the headmistress on the secret support program. His face flickers on screen, smug, calculating. I swallow. Then Isabel stands, voice steady. Your Honor, this proves he used generosity as leverage to paint himself the savior while erasing accountability. The prosecutor nods, clicking between spreadsheets and wire transfer logs. Each document slides into view like bullets on a display board. I grip the pew rail. Then the gallery gasps as Marcus reads an email Daniel sent. Release funds when she's at her lowest. Make her dependent. My breath catches. Flames of betrayal ignite in my chest. I rise involuntarily. I can't stay seated. Then my lawyer, steps forward, laying out graphs of Daniel's manipulated payments versus the months he was physically absent. The judge's gavel glints above, an unseen beacon. I feel sweat beat on my temple. Then Daniel's attorney sputters, fumbling through objections. Then the judge silences him with a single commanding rap. The echo rings like a verdict yet to come. I glance at Clara in the gallery, her little hand clutching mine. Then I meet my sister's gaze. Her nod is fierce, unyielding. Then the judge leans forward, voice low. "And now," he says, "I have all I need." His eyes lock on mine. Then the courtroom holds its breath. Will this proof be enough to secure Clara's future? I listen to the judge's words as if underwater, muffled, surreal. "I award sole custody to Marisol Vega," he declares, voice echoing off marble walls. "I further order financial restitution for emotional and material damages." The gavel falls. Then the room explodes in muted applause. I slump forward, knees trembling like saplings in a storm. I taste tears before they reach my lips. Then Clara throws her arms around me, pressing her cheek to mine. I feel her ragged breaths against my coat. I rise, voice cracking. "It's over, baby." My hands shake so violently I can barely grip. The legal papers. Then I tuck them into my bag, our new armor. I step onto the witness stand, looking at every face. My sister, my lawyer, even my ex's stunned entourage. Then I exhale, long and shuddering, as if exhaling all the fear that's collected in my bones. I walk out of the courtroom into the crisp afternoon light. Then the doors swing shut behind me, leaving the rancid chill of doubt locked inside. Clara nestles beside me, scanning the plaza. I slip an arm around her shoulders and draw her close. Then I feel the sun warm my cheek. I realize I can breathe again, fully, freely, without ice in my lungs. Then I lean down and whisper, "You're safe, we're together." Her eyes sparkle with relief. Can life finally begin again? I learned that truth doesn't wait for permission. I learned that love sometimes hides in shadows, where we least expect it, and yet deserves the light of justice. I learned that a mother's fight is never solitary. It's lifted by allies, who see her pain, her strength, her unwavering devotion. I share this story because I know you've felt invisible, undermined, manipulated. I have stood where you stand, cold, alone, unsure if the world would notice my struggle. I want you to know your voice matters, your truth matters, your fight matters. If you've ever been gaslit, betrayed, or left alone in a storm, comment below and share your story. Then subscribe for more confessions, stories of hidden battles and hard-won victories. Then join our community of survivors who remind each other we are never truly alone. I promise more courtroom dramas, more confessions, more raw moments of truth. Then together, we'll shine a light into the darkest corners, one story at a time. If you believe that truth needs no permission, hit like, share this video, and ring the bell so you never miss a confession. I will see you in the next courtroom.